Is it okay to wear an Apple Watch or an equivalent smartwatch if you're an actual watch collector? It is 12:22 p.m. Let's get down to business. Yo guys, real quick, T3 Time to Drive is still doing a giveaway. We are so close. We are under 100 people away from hitting 10,000 subscribers on my automotive channel. So go ahead, click the link in the description below and subscribe and get some really cool car content from me because I have a blast talking about that stuff too. So if you want to see some wonky content that isn't watch related, go subscribe. Love you guys. The answer to the question is no. So there you go. Gato, you can end the episode. Jokes aside, though, you can wear whatever you want, and I've always been a proponent of buying what you like and enjoying what you like, and hey, you have two wrists, right? So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could utilize one wrist to have a smartwatch and then the other wrist to wear an actual watch. Do whatever you want. But in this episode, I'm going to share with you why I personally will never wear one of these newfangled smart devices on mine. Number one, they're pricey. Okay, bottom line, they are really expensive for what you get. Even the newest smartwatch, or I should say the newest Apple Watch, supposed to be tougher, supposed to be more resilient, but in comparison to other things you can get, like G-Shocks, Suntoes, maybe, Garmin's that have a lot of functions, a lot of functionalities. Some of these even do tether to your phone. These Apple Watches and equivalent smartwatches are fragile, overpriced, and you're dealing with planned obsolescence. Even though these manufacturers claim that doesn't exist, it does, and we all know it does because all of us have tech devices, right? I mean, whatever, you are watching this on a tech device, unless you're like, I don't know, like, so unless you are some form of like, what do you call them? A witch! Unless you're a witch! You are watching this on some form of tech device that will eventually need an update, and then it needs another update, and then it needs another update, and then it doesn't really hold its charge for long enough, and then you want to replace it. Well, you don't want to replace it because you don't want to spend all that money because things are getting really, really expensive, and our dollar is so heavily inflated that it's pretty much worth nothing now, so you're going to have to spend like well over $1,000 to get another device, and it's forcing you to do so because literally, if you do not have a technological device on you at all times, you essentially do not exist in this society. How sad. So to reiterate, the first point is that they are pricey for what you get because they are fragile and they're going to be obsolete like 6 months after you buy them. Number two, numerous luxury watchmakers, and I have a list here, Montblanc, Tag Heuer, Frederic Constant, and others have kind of tried to get their foot in the door offering these like pseudo smartwatches and hybrid watches that have, you know, techie aspects to them. And again, they are very, very expensive. So this brings us back to the first point. Like if you buy one of these Montblanc smartwatches for a few $1,000s, it's going to be obsolete eventually, and it's going to be much more fragile than a G-Shock or something else that has a ton of functionality. And for the price you pay for one of these Tag Heuer smartwatches or Montblanc smartwatches, you could like buy a really nice actual watch. And when I say actual watch, I'm not talking necessarily about just, you know, luxury mechanical watches. There are really cool quartz watches. I mean, I've been mentioning G-Shock this entire time. I'm going to blow your mind. I'm wearing a G-Shock right now. This is one of my favorite watches of all time. And I'm going to give you some like insider information as a watch dealer. These luxury smartwatches like from Montblanc, Tag Heuer, Frederic Constant, they're not that popular. They are not selling all that well. So that should also let you know that like this market is kind of dumb. Now, Apple smartwatches are doing like incredibly well because Apple has cornered the market when we're talking about mobile devices, but that's, you know, a different conversation. Number three, the whole convenience thing about having all your technology like right on your wrist at all times, it's not appealing to me at all. And I'm going to explain to you why. So first, it doesn't make sense to me, right? I'm already tied to this thing like 24/7. And if I'm not on this thing, I'm on my iPad or a laptop, or I'm sitting in front of a computer. Like right now, I have 2 monitors in front of me with this and an iPad and my laptop on a desk over there that you cannot see. So I have screens all around me. I'm in this prison that I can't escape from. A prison full of hentai. What is going on? You know what? I don't mind it. So what I'm trying to say, jokes aside, is I think all of us are very much tied to our smart devices. And most of us have our phones on us like 24/7. And just based upon my channel's analytics, I can tell most people view my content from mobile devices. So there are, percentages of people that watch it from smart TVs or from computers, but I think you right now, you're probably watching this on your phone. I would be interested, whoever's watching this right now, as just a mini sampling, what are you watching this on? Phone, computer, TV? Like, let me know. But what I'm trying to get at is having yet another device like on my wrist, giving me even like more notifications and like all of the stuff that goes along with having this tech on you. We are already so deeply just like immersed in this tech, social media, immediate gratification lifestyle. And I'm not trying to get like too woo-woo, like in the weeds here, but the last thing I want is another device giving me all these notifications. If I could, I would spend a lot less time on my phone than I already do. But I think most of us probably spend too much time in the interwebs, and we should probably be spending more time like face to face with like actual humans. And it's weird for me to say that because I literally make the majority of my money from people, on the internet watching my content. But just as like a human, I would tell you to probably spend more time with actual people. But keep watching my content, please, because I'm, I want to buy another Rolex soon. So. So yeah, to finish up that point, I know I kind of went off on a tangent there. I already have my phone on me, and if I'm not on my phone, I'm on a computer. So I really do not need like a computer on my wrist. It just doesn't. It's not any more convenient. I think it'd be more detrimental. And the final point is something we kind of already covered, but it just doesn't excite me at all. Again, it's just like another phone, but on your wrist. So for me personally, it just doesn't make sense. So in summation, all right, I would rather use the money spent on one of these Apple Watches or equivalent smartwatches on an actual watch. Because with actual watches, I can have fun, enjoy them, but also pass them down to other people that I care about. I mean, I have my grandfather's watch, I have my great-grandfather's watch, I have my own dad's watch, and I'm going to be passing these things down to my kids, hopefully, and my grandkids one day. And with these smart watches and tech items, they're essentially going to be like unusable retro relics that like no one will care about. So I'm going to tell you right now, an Apple Watch being passed down to your kids in like, I don't know, we'll just say whoever ends up, you pass down a smartwatch from today to someone 20, 30 years from now, right? It's not going to be as cool as when we found like an Atari or a Nintendo and we're like, whoa, this is cool. This is like old school. It's not going to be as cool because I have Nintendo, Super Nintendo. I have a huge retro game collection because that's what I was into before I got into watches. And those things are still usable and charming nowadays. But there is no way that in like 20, 30 years, people are going to be using the smartwatches from this generation being like, oh, heck yeah, cool, blah, blah. Like, you don't hear or see of people using the first gen iPod, like, ever, right? And if you see one, you're like, well, that's weird. It's like a brick, and it's not even usable, and I can hold, like, 2 songs on it. Okay. So, yeah, it's stupid. But guys, let me know what you think, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of comments from people being like, oh, well, I'm watching your content on my smartwatch. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it. But that's it for me today, guys. I just wanted to give you this rant because since the beginning of my channel, had people commenting, being like, what do you think of Apple Watches? Would you ever wear an Apple Watch? And I think I've made an episode talking about why I wouldn't, but I wanted to go just deeper into it right now. So thanks for letting me rant to you guys. This is a good old school T3 watch rant, and I will catch you on the next one. Hey, why don't you go check out this episode? It's about 7 watches that I love from brands that I absolutely hate. And Hublot made it on the list. Okay, they've done a bunch of these dials, but there's one that I look at it and I'm like, man, she's just like me for real. Like, she's just like me for real. Like, I'm going to give you the specific reference number. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.